If you find yourself barely losing weight and your belly looks exactly the same, you're probably missing the number one sign. Because most men ignore this sign because they don't know that you can weigh what you did 4 weeks ago, but have less belly fat. My name is Adam. I'm a performance nutritionist who spent the last decade helping over 200 men lose their belly fat and keep it off. I want to make sure you know the sign so you don't quit. The problem is most men treat the bathroom scale like the judge, jury, and executioner. They step on it, weigh less, and declare that a good week. Now, when their number's up, it's a disaster and they start questioning everything. But here's the problem. The scale measures your total body weight, and that's all it does. It doesn't tell you how much weight of that is fat, how much of that's muscle, or how much of that is water, or whether the meal you had last night is still sitting in your digestive system. Now, from a belly fat perspective specifically, which is what we're actually talking about when we're looking at leaner and you being more healthy, your waist circumference is a better indicator than your weight, full stop. And once you're over 40 inches on a waist, your risk of serious illness like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke increases significantly, not slightly, but significantly. And you can move out of that high risk zone while your scale weight barely moves because the two things aren't measuring the same thing. So your new rule, if your waist is coming down over time, even if the scale's flat, you are losing the belly fat that actually matters. Now, here's what the data says on this, and it's more reassuring than you'd expect. A study following over 2,600 adults for a year looked at this exact question. How does weight loss map out to waist reduction? The finding was straightforward. For every 6 pounds lost, waist circumference shrank by roughly 1 inch. Almost 1-for-1. They looked at different populations and saw the same pattern. Real fat loss shows up in your waist. Now here's where it gets interesting for men whose weight isn't shifting at all. If you're training properly while adding muscle, losing fat, your scale weight can stay almost identical for weeks. Yet the fat is coming off and your muscle is going on. The number doesn't move, but your waist does. A shrinking waist with a flat scale weight isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's one of the clearest signs that something is going very right. Less fat, more muscle. Even though the scale refuses to acknowledge it. The scale does lie. And I've had clients ready to quit because the scale went up after a week of eating perfectly. So I want to tell you why this happens. Your body's roughly 50 to 60% water. You have shifts in salt intake, carbohydrate intake, stress, and hormones that can move water weight by several pounds within a single week, even a single night. So you can eat in a deficit, lose a pound of actual fat, and watch a scale go up by 5 pounds because you ate more carbs than usual and your body held on to more water. Then you can overeat at the weekend, gain maybe a pound of fat at most, and then see the scale spike 8 pounds because of water and undigested food. The scale is picking up all that noise and it can't separate it out. And this is why weighing yourself once and calling it evidence is useless. You need weekly averages, not single data points. You want to see the trend over 4 to 6 weeks that gives you the actual data with less noise. But your waist measurement doesn't have this problem. Water doesn't add inches to your midsection overnight. A genuine downward trend in your waist over a month means fat is leaving that area. Sure, the tape measure isn't perfect, but it's a far clearer signal than a scale for what we are actually trying to track. So I didn't really tell you about my clients. Yes, I've had multiple clients where the scale barely moved for the entire coaching period, but one in particular, which is pretty surprising. 26 weeks where he trained consistently, ate right, did everything I could ask, but his total weight loss on the scale was modest. The kind of number that if that's all you were looking at, you'd say the program hadn't worked. But he dropped over 6 inches off his waist. 6 inches in 26 weeks. And now he looked completely different. His health markers improved. His clothes didn't fit anymore and he had to buy new trousers. And if we were to math it up according to that study, that's 36 pounds of fat lost. And there were points in the process where he genuinely was frustrated because the scale wasn't cooperating. At week 8 specifically, he messaged me ready to change everything. He wanted the usual, more restriction, more training, just something more aggressive. And if the waist measurement hadn't been there as a counter argument, he might have blown up a program that was working perfectly. So instead, every 2 weeks, we took his waist measurement and the trend was clear and consistent. That number kept him going when the scale was doing its usual thing. But that's not an unusual story, and I see versions of it regularly. The men who make the most visible positive physical changes are not the ones always looking at the scale weight or losing the most scale weight. They're the ones building muscle while losing fat, and the scale simply cannot show you both things at once. If your waist is going to be your primary metric, which it should, the technique needs to be consistent over everything else. Otherwise, you're just comparing bad data to bad data. I had a client for months who was measuring wrong, pulling the tape tight, sucking in. His numbers looked better than they were, and he couldn't understand why his clothes still fit the same. So let me be specific. Stand tall, relaxed. Don't pull your stomach in. Find the bony points at the front of your hips. You'll feel them if you press just above your trouser line. Wrap a flexible tape measure like this horizontally around your torso, level with those points, snug and not digging in. Then take the reading at the end of a normal exhale, the same time every 2 weeks. First thing in the morning usually works best, just before you've eaten. And the consistency matters more than the exact method. Whatever you do this week, do the exact same in 2 weeks' time. As a reference point, male waists above roughly 37 inches are associated with more meaningful elevated health risks. Above 40 inches, that risk jumps again. Again, these aren't numbers to obsess over, but they're useful context for where you're starting and where you're heading. So here's how to put this together practically. Weigh yourself daily or most days, but don't look at individual weigh-ins. Look at your weekly average. One bad morning on a scale means nothing, but the average across 7 days or weeks gives you the data you need. Then this is the most important one. Measure your waist every 2 weeks. The same day, similar time, or the exact same time if you can, and the same method. To support this, take photos every 2 weeks, and not because those photos are the most precise measure, but because they show things the numbers miss, like where you're carrying fat, how your posture's changed, and how your shoulders sit relative to your midsection. All my clients track their strength in the gym. If your lifts are stable or improving while your waist is coming down, that's exactly what you want. It's a clear sign you're losing fat and not muscle. The program is working. After 4 to 6 weeks, look at the pattern across all of those. If your weekly average weight is flat or very slightly down, your waist is clearly trending down and your strength is at least holding. That is recomposition, the holy grail of goals, not just weight loss. A quick side note. If you're also on TRT under medical supervision and you've recently started training properly or taking training more seriously, or maybe recovery just improved, this divergence between scale weight and waist can be even more pronounced. You'll be building muscle faster than most men, and the scale will lie to you harder than most men. Focus on the waist and on your strength. Get stronger over time and your belt feeling looser over time. I used to step on the scale every single morning, first thing before anything, and that number, whatever it said, that would set the tone for my entire day. But your waist is telling you a story the scale can't tell. So start listening to it. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and watch this one next. I'll see you there.